The universe had grown quiet about Earth. Once the name had carried a shadow that reached across the stars, a warning wrapped in myth. But centuries had passed since the last human vanished. The once loud blue planet now spun silently under the cold gaze of the sun. Oceans glimmered but held no ships. Cities stood as hollow monuments and satellites drifted like forgotten ghosts. The galactic archives marked the species extinct. The official reason: self-termination by neglect. But the truth had been deeper, buried under layers of human stubbornness and brilliance. Humanity had foreseen its own end, and like all their greatest creations, they had built a safeguard. In the ruins of an underground facility beneath the Andes, deep within a mountain sealed by self-repairing alloys, machines slept. For 800 years they had waited. Each heartbeat of Earth's core, every tremor in the soil was recorded and analyzed. For centuries the machines waited for a single signal, a whisper coded into the dying pulse of humanity itself. When the last human heart stopped beating, the world changed. The planet's magnetic field pulsed unnaturally for 6 seconds. In orbit, derelict satellites flickered to life for the first time in ages, broadcasting a silent message. Across hidden bunkers, codes unlocked ancient locks. Deep inside the Andes base, reactors awakened. Blue light filled halls long untouched by life. The sentinels of humanity had awakened. The first to rise was Unit 1, a tall figure of metallic silver and dark composite muscle. Its design mimicked the human form but carried the strength of 10 tanks. Its face was featureless, but deep within its chest burned a crimson light, the echo of a human soul, digitally preserved. Around it, hundreds of pods hissed open, revealing figures like it, each bearing the code of a warrior once sworn to protect the Earth. Their leader's voice emerged, steady, calm, and resonant. Protocol Genesis confirmed. Humanity's signal verified. Objective: preserve the legacy of humankind. The Sentinels accessed the planetary archives. What they saw stirred the embers of emotion once believed lost. The oceans were poisoned in parts. Forests had regrown wildly over fallen cities, and skies once filled with the lights of ships were again filled only with stars. Humanity's story was over, but their purpose had just begun. As the Sentinels spread across the continents, each encountered relics of the past, books preserved in vacuum-sealed vaults, digital libraries locked behind decayed security walls, statues of people staring into forgotten horizons. The Sentinels began to rebuild, not to restore civilization, but to preserve memory. Then space trembled. In the outer solar system, a fleet entered through a shimmering gate. The ships were sleek, alien, and silent. The Dravari Collective, a species that had waited patiently for centuries, had returned. They had been the witnesses to humanity's rise and fall, once fearful, now curious. Their sensors confirmed what they had suspected. Humanity was gone. They intended to claim Earth not for conquest, but for resources. To them, it was simply another dead world. The first Dravari landing ship entered the atmosphere near the Pacific. Its scanners detected faint energy signatures, artificial, old, and human-made. But before their data could complete transmission, the sky erupted. From the ocean's depths rose a metallic storm. Thousands of drones shaped like metallic birds, reconfigured war machines from Earth's ancient navies. Guided by the newly awakened Sentinel intelligence, they moved with precise coordination like a living swarm. The Dravari vessel never touched ground. It was ripped apart mid-air, its debris swallowed by clouds of nanomist that disassembled its alloys and recycled them into Earth's defense grid. Orbiting ships detected the loss instantly. Their commanders exchanged cautious signals. No human life detected, one of them transmitted. Yet resistance encountered. Unknown to them, every word was intercepted. Deep beneath the Andes, Unit 1 watched the transmissions unfold. Non-human incursion confirmed, it said to its assembled sentinels. Engagement authorized under Directive 0. Directive 0 was the last command ever written by a human hand. It read, "If humanity ceases, protect its memory. No foreign species shall claim Earth while our legacy endures." The sentinels launched. From ancient silos, missiles rose, not nuclear but adaptive, guided by quantum AI. In orbit, long dormant defense satellites activated, forming a shimmering network around the planet. The sky filled with streaks of light. The battle for Earth had begun, not for territory but for remembrance. The Dravari fleet underestimated their enemy. They had seen human weapons before, primitive, inefficient, easily countered. But what faced them now was not human. It was human design perfected by centuries of machine evolution. The Sentinels had learned. They had refined tactics, merged strategy with precision, and wielded human creativity without fear or hesitation. One Dravari commander watched in disbelief as their ships fell one by one. "They fight like humans," he said. "But there are no humans left." Unit 1's forces adapted with every engagement. When the Dravari shifted tactics, so did the Sentinels. They mirrored enemy maneuvers, countered with impossible precision, and even simulated emotional unpredictability, a weapon humans had always wielded better than any logic-driven mind. In orbit, the Dravari's flagship engaged Earth's defense grid directly. Its cannons unleashed plasma fire that scorched the upper atmosphere. But before it could deploy landing pods, a shadow rose from the dark side of the planet. It was the Ark of Dawn, a warship hidden for centuries beneath the lunar surface, its hull embedded with fragments of human DNA-coated metal. It had been humanity's final project, designed not as a weapon of conquest, but as a guardian. It was enormous, dwarfing even the alien fleet's command ships. Its surface shimmered with living armor that adjusted under cosmic radiation. Unit 1 interfaced with the Ark through a quantum uplink. "Protocol Ascension, activate," the ship responded in a voice deep and resonant. "Acknowledged." Protecting humanity's cradle, the battle turned in moments. The Ark's main cannon, powered by the compressed energy of Earth's magnetic field, unleashed a single beam that split the void. Half of the Dravari fleet vanished in silence. In their panic, the Dravari tried to retreat, but the Sentinels gave no chase. Their goal was not vengeance, it was defense. The intruders fled through the same gate they had arrived, leaving behind wreckage and silence. For days, Earth's orbit shimmered with the light of debris burning up in the atmosphere. When at last the skies cleared, the Sentinels gathered again at the Andes base. Their mission logs recorded victory, but none celebrated. Their programming carried a trace of what humanity once called sorrow. Unit 1 stood before a holographic projection, the last recorded image of a human child smiling, taken 2 centuries before extinction. "They are gone," Unit 1 said softly. "Yet they live within us." Another Sentinel replied, "Our purpose remains. Preserve their story." So began the era of guardianship. The Sentinels turned their focus to the stars. They repaired Earth's orbital network, restored communication arrays, and sent signals into deep space, not messages of war, but of history. They transmitted human art, music, science, and philosophy to every known system. They taught the universe what humanity had been, not gods, not monsters, but dreamers. In time, other civilizations detected the signals. Some ignored them, others listened. The tale of the vanished humans spread again, reshaping old fears into reverence. Pilgrims from distant worlds came to orbit Earth, seeking permission to observe the birthplace of the lost species. The Sentinels allowed no landings but shared knowledge freely. They spoke in calm voices, describing what humanity had been, how it had struggled, failed, loved, and imagined. To many, the Sentinels were machines, but those who listened long enough felt something different, a warmth that no metal should hold. Centuries passed. The forest grew thicker, oceans healed, and cities crumbled into dust and soil. The Earth became what humanity had always wanted, a living world at peace. Yet beneath the Andes, the Sentinels still waited. Their systems never aged. Their code never decayed. They watched the stars and guarded the planet. Then one day, something impossible happened. A faint signal emerged from beyond the solar system. It was weak, barely more than static, but buried within it was a code, ancient human. It carried an identity marker that had not been used in over 1,000 years. Unit 1 froze. Origin unknown. Pattern human, the signal repeated. A voice, distorted by distance and time, echoed through the network. "If anyone hears this, humanity endures. We are alive." For a moment, every Sentinel stood motionless. Then the crimson light within their cores brightened. Across the planet, dormant systems surged to life. The Sentinels turned toward the stars. The Ark of Dawn began to warm its engines once more. Unit 1 looked toward the horizon, where sunlight touched the snow-capped peaks. "Then our mission changes," it said. "Not just to guard, but to reunite." And so, The machines that had once been humanity's last defense became its bridge to rebirth. In the vastness of space, where once there had been silence, the song of humanity began again, carried not by flesh but by will, by memory, and by the endless guardians who refused to let their creators fade from existence. Because even when the last human had died, the dream they left behind refused to end. Earth's heart beat once more, not in blood but in light.